The Helion Border Patrol expected pirates, smugglers, or maybe a rogue miner drifting off its lane. They did not expect silence. Not the quiet of space. Their scanners picked that up just fine. No, this was a different kind of silence. A heavy one. A waiting one. Lieutenant Cale Voran frowned at the tactical display aboard the Imperial cutter HSS Vectis. A single immobile object hovered at the fringe of Helion space, massive, cold, and old enough to wear the dust of dead centuries. "Signal it again," he said. "We've already tried a dozen times," the comms officer replied, voice tense. No response. No transponder. No life signs. Cale zoomed the image. At first it looked like a dark, broken asteroid, but then the shape sharpened. A hull. Angular plating. A silhouette built for war, not travel. And far larger than any modern Imperial cruiser. The bridge fell quiet. "Gods," one officer whispered. "Is that a fortress ship?" Cale shook his head slowly. "No fortress in our records looks like that. Even worse, it didn't match any design from any known species. The Helion Empire, with all its conquered territories and intelligence networks, prided itself on knowing every vessel, every threat, every war machine in the galaxy. This thing? Completely alien. "Bring us closer," Cale ordered. Engines burned. The cutter glided toward the silent colossus, dwarfed by its shadow. The mystery ship's surface was scorched and pitted, battle scars layered over older battle scars. Whatever it had fought, it had lived through more than any ship had a right to. A faint tremor of unease crawled through the bridge crew. "What's that marking?" the sensor officer murmured. Cale zoomed again. At first the symbol was barely visible, a faded curve, broken lines, ash gray against black metal. The centuries had almost erased it. Almost. Cale leaned closer. His breath caught. He knew this script. He had seen it only once before, during a lecture on extinct civilizations, long before he joined the fleet. Ancient Earth script. Terran standard. His mouth went dry. "That," he whispered, "is human." The sensor officer's chair clattered as she stood up too fast. "But humans are extinct. They died out in the cataclysm. Everyone knows that." "Everyone thought so," Cale said, heartbeat thundering. "But this is a Terran warship." A hush fell over the bridge, more chilling than before. The great vessel hung before them like a god's tombstone floating in the void. A relic from a species that should not exist. A species whose legends still made generals sweat and emperors whisper. The comms officer swallowed hard. "Lieutenant, what do we do?" Cale stared into the darkness of the massive hull. Its cold symmetry. Its predatory outline. Its silent, watching presence. He felt it deep in his bones. This ship was not dead. Just dormant. And something inside seemed to be listening. Cale spoke softly, almost reverently. "We report to High Command." He turned away from the window, though the ship's shadow still felt like it pressed against him. "And we pray this thing stays asleep." The bridge of the Imperial cruiser Vorthakray hummed with the calm rhythm of routine patrol, until every console flickered at once. A sharp, metallic shriek tore through the comm system. Not a transmission. Not noise. A ping. A deep space, long-range, gravimetric ping so powerful it shuddered through the ship's hull. Every officer froze. Admiral Therox turned his crested head slowly. "Report. Now." Sensor Master Kree's mandibles clicked in panic. Sir, that signal wasn't ours. It wasn't Imperial. It matches nothing in the Galactic registry." Another console chimed, 3 piercing tones like a heartbeat. Boom, boom, boom. Kree's spines flared. "There it is again. It's locking onto us. Who dares tag an Imperial ship?" Therox snarled. "Identify the source." The scanners rendered the origin as a single red dot drifting in the void, small, faint, almost harmless looking. A ship. A ship drifting without drive signatures, without heat, without even basic EM leakage. stealthed so perfectly the Imperial sensors should never have detected it. And yet it had revealed itself. Deliberately. Magnify, Therox ordered. The holoscreen expanded, sharpening. Then the bridge went silent. Horrifically silent. The small, drifting speck finally focused into view. A matte black vessel. With no running lights, no insignia, no windows, only a faint pattern of human-design geometry etched across its armor like ritual scars. Kree whispered the word everyone else was too afraid to say. Human. Another officer choked. But humans don't patrol this sector. They have no claim here. Why would they be? A new alert blared. Red. Urgent. Alarming. The human ship had powered something. Not weapons. Not engines. A communication link. A message came through the translator, cold, crisp, and terrifyingly calm. Imperial cruiser Vortakray, you are operating within protected humanitarian space. You will power down all offensive systems. This is your only warning. The entire bridge erupted in disbelief. What humanitarian space? This is Imperial territory, someone shouted. They're bluffing, humans always bluff. But the Admiral felt his stomach knot. Because humans were many things. Strange. Unpredictable. Overly moral. But they did not bluff about safety. Or war. Another ping rippled through the void. Much closer. Much heavier. Kree's eyes widened as more signatures appeared. 13713. 13 human warships decloaking in perfect formation. Silent. Black. Predatory. Like a pack of void-born beasts awakening. Therox's voice broke. By the Empire, what have we stumbled into? And then, every console received the same message again, this time with a timestamp. A timestamp dated 3 months earlier, when the Empire had quietly annexed a border colony. A colony they believed belonged to no one. A colony that, apparently, had been under human protection all along. Therox felt the blood drain from his face. We invaded their protectorate. The sensors chimed one more time. All human ships simultaneously charged weapons. The galaxy's most feared sentence whispered through the speakers. Imperial vessel. Stand down. Or be removed. Panic spread through the bridge of the Vortakray like a contagion. Every officer felt it. Every console reflected it. Every instinct screamed the same thing. They were not the hunters anymore. They were prey. How many ships? Admiral Therox's voice trembled despite his attempt at authority. Sensor Master Kree swallowed hard. TH-13 confirmed. But, sir. But what? Therox demanded. Kree slowly turned his display toward the Admiral. Therox felt his pulse stop. Because the main human vessel. 4 hours, the Imperial battle group had circled the lone Terran warship like frightened predators. Predators who suddenly realized the prey had fangs sharper than theirs. Not a single human transmission. Not a single movement beyond minimal course correction. Just silence. Silence that felt predatory. Then the humans decided to speak. It began with a soft chime across every Imperial ship. No encryption. No protocol. No identification tag. Just a channel forced open, as if the humans had peeled their comm systems apart with casual ease. A single voice spoke, calm, emotionless, professional. A human voice. Imperial command, this is the TSS Vindicator. Even Therox froze. The humans had a reputation for terrifying ship names. Relentless. Retribution. Devourer. But Vindicator had an implication he understood too well. A ship that arrives after an injustice. A ship that comes to set things right. A ship that does not forgive. You are operating within a human defensive exclusion zone. The voice continued. You will power down weapons and propulsion. You will prepare to be boarded and scanned for evidence of hostile action. Gasps broke out across the command deck. Boarded? The Empire? By humans? That wasn't a request. It was a sentence. Admiral Therox forced his voice steady. This is Imperial Admiral Therox of the Vorthakray. We were responding to an anomalous signal. Identify your purpose here. A pause. The kind of pause predators make before they strike. Then, we detected the same distress call you did. Therox blinked. From the derelict colony? Not derelict. Not abandoned. A faint hum crackled through the channel as something powered up aboard the human warship. It was ours. Every officer on every Imperial bridge went cold at the same time. And whoever attacked it. The human continued. We are here to bury. The transmission cut. The lights inside the Vindicator shifted from soft white to blood red. Its engines awakened like a sleeping monster rising to its feet. Space around the ship distorted. Gravity well blooming outward like unfurling claws. For the first time in his career, Admiral Therox felt something he never expected. He wished the threat had been anything but humans, because now the galaxy's most infamous apex species had declared their intent, and nothing survived human retribution.